Namaskar, hello and welcome to 𝗼𝙧𝙤𝙪 channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Joining me is Sriram Seshadri, and we are going to capture the events in two different states, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Both these states, a lot of activity going on. First, we'll start with Tamil Nadu and then we will take up Karnataka. Stay tuned, do like this video, and if you have not already subscribed, do subscribe to our video, our channel, and let us welcome now the guest of the evening, Sriram Seshadri. Sriramji, Namaskar and welcome to 𝗼𝙧𝙤𝙪 channel.
Namaskar, Shayarji. How are you?
I'm doing well. Sriram, this is something that is moving like an electric train on steroids. So very, very fast moving developments. Perhaps you can start from wherever you want to start and then we can move backwards in time or forwards in time. Take it away, sir.
Okay. The important thing that happened in Tamil Nadu this week is Senthil Balaji's, arrest. In fact, last session, you and I, Shayar, when we talked about, we said, it is inevitable. It's a question of days before he will get arrested and the ED would visit. And then, not even 2 or 3 days, ED visited, not even 2 days, if I'm not wrong. ED paid a visit to him. So the thing is, it is a 2015 case. During 2015, Senthil Balaji got into a cash for job scam. Eventually, FIR was filed in 2018. And ED also filed an FIR in 2018. Senthil Balaji prevented ED from proceeding for 4 years by various legal loopholes and open items that he had. And finally, on May 16th, if I'm not wrong, Supreme Court vacated the stay that was given by Chennai High Court on ED from proceeding on this case. And second thing, Supreme Court also directed the state police to file a Prevention of Corruption Act case and then file an action taken report within 2 months. If not, for both ED and state police, Supreme Court directed that if they don't do that in 2 months' time, then Supreme Court will formulate a SIT, special investigation team, and then take the matters on its own, in their own hands. That's where ED started acting. In between that, there was an income tax raid that happened on Senthil Balaji's aids and relations, etc. Where, we also saw that in 𝗼𝙧𝙤𝙪, we discussed that the income tax authorities were beaten, manhandled, and they were in ICU. There is a case that is going on. In this preamble, ED actually had come to do a search and serve a summon on Senthil Balaji. And that Senthil Balaji was trying to prevent, that's what we hear, that even inside the house when they were on for the raid, they tried to, they served a summon on Senthil Balaji, which he refused to take. That is when eventually they decided he had to be taken into custody. The moment he was taken into custody, even before that, DMK started reacting, in an unprecedented manner. A few years back, Stalin's stepsister, was arrested and was in prison for 6 months. He had not bothered about, or he had not issued any statement. And one of his senior colleagues, A. Raja, was arrested. Even there, Stalin didn't do anything. But the moment Senthil Balaji is arrested, entire cabinet almost lived in Omandura hospital for a day, trying to show solidarity. This shows that how important Senthil Balaji, probably as everybody says, everybody claims in Tamil Nadu, that he seems to be the treasury of DMK. But Senthil Balaji, when he was arrested, he complained about chest pain, and then that's when he was taken to the government hospital. While he was going, he broke down, literally broke down. One could see the images whenever we play it, that he was crying, not out of pain. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's play the video now. You can see not only was he kicking and screaming, I think the party itself is kicking and screaming now. Go ahead.
So Senthil Balaji broke down in a way that, otherwise his stature used to be, he was a very brave person, he was willing to face the case. But the moment ED decided to take him into custody, Senthil Balaji broke down and then cried. Of course, he was taken to the hospital. But eventually, subsequent day was full of drama. See, I still hope that Senthil Balaji has as the Omandura hospital doctors said that, he has a 90% block in 3 of his arteries. I still hope that, it's true, which means Senthil Balaji has to thank ED for saving his life. But for ED arrest, he would not have undergone this test. But for the test, he would not have realized that, he has a 90% block in his arteries. So, which means he... Yeah,
just follow-up question. I'll let you go unhindered, sir. Why was he transferred to Kaveri Hospital? If he was, what was the reason for that?
Okay, he was transferred to Kaveri Hospital because his wife demanded, filed a habeas corpus petition in Madras High Court. Habeas corpus originally is meant for identify if someone is gone missing. It is to request the court to intervene to present that person. But in a way, what happened was, habeas corpus also is being used for unlawful detention and other cases. So, Senthil Balaji's wife filed a habeas corpus petition in Madras High Court, where they argued that, it would be better if they go to Kaveri Hospital, where he has his family doctor who would attend to. 2 things come to my mind. M. Subramaniam, who is a health minister, who claims, and the entire DMK ecosystem claims, that Tamil Nadu has one of the best state-of-the-art medical facilities in government hospitals, and they agree that Kaveri Hospital is a better hospital. And second, it's a hypocrisy that, if you have money, you could go and, go to a high-paying hospital, private hospital. But remember, Kaveri Hospital is owned by K. Nehru, another, DMK minister. And one of the conspiracy theory is that, Kaveri Hospital, they will have their ways, DMK can exercise their ways into that. But because of that only, this evening, as we speak, few hours before, the Sessions Court had given ED custody, not from a judicial custody. They have given ED custody to of Senthil Balaji, which means, they are free to interrogate as long as the doctors allow him to allow the interrogation. But ED will have a control of who visits Senthil Balaji. They will actually monitor whoever is visiting Senthil Balaji. No visitor can be allowed that easily because it's like a police custody. ED custody is equivalent to a police custody in the state. So the high drama happened when Shekhar Babu visited on the morning on 14. He visited Senthil Balaji and then said, Senthil Balaji was manhandled. He has a cut here or bruise and wounds in his neck and ears. But remember, the arrival report, anytime anybody is brought into our hospital, they actually record the physical condition of the patient that comes in, especially to the emergency ward. Then arrival report did not have any symptom or any indication of the wounds that Shekhar Babu was talking about. Coincidentally, the Human Rights Commission representative from Tamil Nadu, Kannadasan, who is also a DMK person. Otherwise, without this portfolio, he used to represent in the TV debates as a spokesperson. He visited and then said that, Senthil Balaji has wounds in his head. All of a sudden, from the neck, the wounds are moved to head. So all this says that, there is some drama happening. I still pray that Senthil Balaji health is preserved. Senthil Balaji comes out very clear, comes out of his health condition and face the charges leveled against him. Imagine several hundreds of people who had paid bribe and then not got a job, or several who actually qualified to get a job, but because someone had money to pay the bribe, got the job, and then equal opportunity was not given to a right candidate, deserving candidate. Both sides, there is a crime that is committed. In this case, Senthil Balaji filed an affidavit for a closure of the case. Compromise, formula arrived at, where they filed in Madras High Court in 2021 after the government was formed, that the money was returned and hence there is no case. This is what Supreme Court took very, very exception to. They even issued a stricture on the Madras High Court saying that the moment their money has been taken, the crime is committed. After that, whether the money was returned or not is immaterial. But the moment money is taken, the crime was committed, and then it attracts, Prevention of Corruption Act, charge sheet. But the moment the money is there, PMLA also comes in. Prevention of Money Laundering Act also comes in. That's where ED steps in. So all in all, Shri Iyer, this case is a very watertight case for Senthil Balaji. But the reactions of DMK is what we need to see, because very, very, open reaction. CM has issued a 10-minute video, claiming that, inhuman treatment has been given. He was almost murdered. Let me also tell you, there was a thought process amongst DMK, legal team to file a case. Probably Senthil Balaji's wife was planning to file a case on ED and the CASF, the Central Force, which actually arrested him. I think they were trying to file a case on, attempt to murder case. But I think some good counsel prevailed, and then they didn't go to that extent. This is really, really become ridiculous when you actually sit here and then watch what is happening. It is really, really ridiculous. But hope he comes out of his health conditions faster and then faces the case. But one thing that was shown by the videos that you played, that he is not as brave as he claims. He just buckles under pressure. That's what bothers the CM. The moment the CM, moment he actually has a discussion with the ED and then confesses that, either Stalin or Sabarisan or Udayanidhi Stalin, every one of them got the money that I looted from other cases, not this one particularly, but other 10 rupee additional charges that he was charging on each bottle, the TASMAC, looting. The moment he says that, they will also come under the scanner. Remember, as per Indian law, any self-confession given to ED official holds good in the court of law, whereas a confession to police has to be corroborated with evidences, whereas a confession to ED is taken in the eyes of law, stands its own merit without any corroborative evidence. Also, it stands its own merit in the court of law. So that's what Stalin and the entire DMK cabinet or DMK leaders are afraid of, in my opinion. I'll take a pause and then we'll actually dissect this.
Sriram, that was a very excellent summary. And viewers, if you have not followed Sriram on Twitter, do follow him, because he has been factually tweeting out facts of this case, and he has been getting so much excrement back from these dumils. I think I should start using a more stronger word than dumils, because that doesn't quite reflect the mindset of the people who are doing all this stuff. Anyway, we are trying to keep this thing at an intellectual level, not going down to the gutter to fight them out. So let's just stay there. Sriram, the other interesting thing that I want to get your attention to is the letter that the Tamil Nadu governor wrote back to M.K. Stalin. So what has happened, viewers, is Senthil Balaji has been divested of his portfolios. The electricity has gone to one person, Tangam Tennarasu, and I think the other thing has gone to somebody else. You can fill in the blanks, sir. Yeah. The interesting thing here is, even though he does not have any portfolios under him, he has not been dropped from the Council of Ministers. Sriram, unpack this for a little bit for us.
So, as per law, while he can still continue as a minister, but it's a custom that calls for removing him from the portfolio. Ideally speaking, removing the person who has been accused and arrested from the cabinet itself. But the moment he is removed from the cabinet, then he loses all its privileges and protection. And that is why, and plus a gratitude that, Stalin wants to show from maybe whatever the collections he had been, maybe he has been paying up for the coffers of DMK. Yes.
Sriram, I'm reminded of what we used to do when we used to board a public bus. There'll be crowd on both doors, but what you will do is you'll put a handkerchief inside to claim that seat is mine. right?
Yeah.
Looks, I'm reminded of something like that here.
Yeah, precisely. So they think that he is going to come back very soon, and then hence only the portfolio reallocation was happening. And the governor the letter that was sent to the governor for the portfolio reallocation for approval. Incidentally, a normal format is to say that due to unavoidable circumstances or some sort of a vagueness to say that the portfolio is reassigned from Senthil Balaji to someone. But Stalin and DMK wanted to go on record that Senthil Balaji's illness has caused this vacation, and because of that they want to reallocate the portfolio. So wherein the governor stepped in and then said, no, that cannot be that is not acceptable. You need to say that either casual vacancy caused by absence of Senthil Balaji, or which is a normal way, or you should say that since he has been arrested and then is an accused, and that is why this vacation has happened. So DMK thought that they will go on record for history's sake that because of his illness he has been replaced. And then governor is super smart because he is a civil servant himself, so he knows all the rules, and of course he has an enormous amount of battery of advisors. So he took the call that either you come through a proper way, proper normal letter without giving other excuses to go on record, or state the original actual reason why this guy is removed from the cabinet, right, or his portfolio is reassigned. So that is where the governor has issued this particular letter. Governor, within his right, within his authority under the constitution, he has the right to accept or deny, and he has given a reasoning. Normally what happens is when such rejection happens, a lot of stories will be built around that. But this time the governor office actually issued this letter in public. Because of that, the government or the party could not spin any stories. They had to accept it and then eat an humble pie. To me, the DMK as a party is committing mistake after mistake after mistake. Even in a sessions court, which is not as independent as a high court or a Supreme Court, or as authoritative as high court or a Supreme Court, this battery of lawyers could not actually win even a small issue. Only thing that they did is moving Senthil Balaji from Omandurar Hospital to Kaveri. In fact, if I were Senthil Balaji's counsel, I wouldn't have even gone for that option. Now they've actually absolved the ED of the accountability and responsibility if anything happens to his health, because Senthil Balaji has assumed that responsibility by moving to his own hospital or his own trusted hospital. The second is I would not have filed habeas corpus, because habeas corpus petition was not quashed, but at least it did not allow the court did not allow the detention from being stayed. They allowed the detention arrest to happen. The third, the bail, because they went for a habeas corpus, the sessions court refused to give a bail, because the moment suppose the habeas corpus petition in the high court, whenever it is decided, says that it is an unlawful detention, then the question of bail will not even happen. So they lost a big opportunity of going for a bail when this issue of his health was concerned. And he moved to Kaveri Hospital. I think the bypass, they said that urgent bypass surgery, now it is going to happen after 5 or 6 days, because he is kept under medical observation. And that is where the urgency of 90% blockage, normally 90% blockage, the bypass is done immediately. If he has a sugar or if he has a pressure, all those things are controlled by the drug, and then you go for a life-saving surgery. But in this case, they are planning to wait. But the decision once again is by Kaveri Hospital and not by the ED appointed doctors. And that way, the risk or anything or success, the responsibility and accountability is with Senthil Balaji and not with ED.
We captured the Senthil Balaji arrest in a cartoon, and I'm hoping that our editor will put up that cartoon. We had it up and we were waiting for you to finish the finish your line. There you go.
It's interesting.
So my cartoonist doesn't speak Tamil, but he has done his best. Ayyo Pavi is not probably what you would normally say, but it's okay. Ayyo Amma probably is more.
Ayyo Amma, right.
Viewers, normally about half of you like our program. Today it's like 1 in 5. May I request all of you to please like this episode? And Sriram and I have done a fair amount of digging to get you this research to bring you up to date. And the only thing we request of you is to like this video. Some of you in comments say that, I am the one asking the most amount of likes. Listen, we think that YouTube likes it when you like it, because then we think that YouTube pushes this video to the next level. And the reason why it is important is the Tamil Nadu media, whether it is print or TV or social media run by DMK Dumils, these people are completely suppressing the facts. In other words, only a few social media sites are the ones who are actually giving you data. We are not making a single embellishment of truth here. We are just stating the facts. And that's why it is important that as many of you get to know about this as possible. Sir, let's wait and see what happens. I may need you to come back early next week to give us another update in case this fast-moving things happen to take another left turn or a right turn. Just wanted to keep you posted on that. Now, let us take a quick...
Before you go to that story, Sriya, you are mentioning about Tamil media. Yeah. Last 2 days, even I tweeted this, last 2 days, Tamil media is hell-bent on going on a overdrive to debate this topic, not to bring the truth, but they actually want to bring in a narrative that the arrest was unlawful and inhuman behavior and humanitarian consideration was not given to Senthil Balaji. Why should he be arrested in the night? Why did they search in the secretariat, his office, and they don't have the jurisdiction. ED does not have a jurisdiction. And the last one is, ED cannot search beyond a case for which they are actually prosecuting. All rubbish. Because I actually, took on a DMK spokesperson in one of the Tamil news channels last night, and then said that, ED has every right under Section 17 of PMLA to search for, without even having a case registered, without even having an FIR registered, without even having a case preamble. They can go and search any premises, even to fish out, even for a fishing expedition, they can go. That's their prerogative. The second, they don't have to follow the section 43(1) of Indian Penal Code, where the notice and other formalities had to be done. Of course, PMLA has its own conditions, procedures for arrest under section 19 of PMLA, which was followed by the ED. So what this ecosystem is trying to do is, humanitarian consideration was not shown. He went in, when the search or raid was happening, he went in with the same t-shirt and track pant. And when he was arrested, he came in the same dress. He was not allowed to change. Normally, ED does not allow you to do any change. They allow you to go to the washroom. They allow you to have food. They allow you to actually, drink water. They allow you to, they provide you with all the comforts. Beyond that, they don't even allow you to go and change your dress, because you could do anything to yourself when you are left alone in a room. That is why they don't allow. It's not because of, they want to be inhuman. So there is a procedure, standard operating procedure that ED has in all these cases. And the ecosystem was trying to actually create a narrative amongst people. In fact, the common public is so pissed off with Senthil Balaji that the people who regularly visit Tasmak, they are pissed off because every day this guy loots 10 rupees from them for a bottle. And other people are so pissed off that he becomes a cash cow, and then it was a CM, the current CM, when he was the opposition leader, brought out this particular case. In fact, it was DMK which brought out this particular case. They filed the petition for this guy's arrest, and that is when all these started. In fact, CM called him a thief in the floor of the house or in his own constituency, and he actually talked about it in the floor of the house in 2016, if I'm not wrong. And the same person had to defend him now because, and this is a case, this is actually catch-22 situation for both ADMK and DMK. ADMK cannot celebrate Senthil Balaji is arrested because he is now in DMK, and DMK cannot leave him undefended. So it's a perfect catch-22 situation.
Well, thank you so much for that clarification. Viewers, have you liked the video yet? Because I'm seeing the numbers still kind of stagnating. If you all like it, it should really shoot through the roof. We are having a great response, by the way. I'm not complaining. I just want you to know the facts of the case because, like I said, everything is being, completely kept under lid. And one last question. I'm sorry, I should have taken going to Karnataka, but one last question. I had predicted in our previous hangout that this could lead to three people: PTR, MK Stalin, and Sabarisan. Now, the PTR is because PTR sang like a canary. So if these guys, if they find something from here, how realistic do you feel that ED might feel that, okay, we need to bring in PTR to understand what he had referenced? Because once PTR comes into this case, in my opinion, it is game over. What do you think, sir?
Yeah, I think PTR may or may not be charged based on that, but PTR may be taken for questioning as an evidence.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. PTR is not known for corruption at this, as far as I know.
Yeah, that is right. You are right. But Sabarisan and Udayanidhi Stalin and Stalin could be in trouble because they could be the beneficiary of Senthil Balaji's collection regime. So that way, the moment Senthil Balaji sings like a canary and PTR evidences come into play, then it could be even land at the doors of the CM or their family. That's what is a biggest issue. I don't know whether before 2024 it will happen. Somewhere I am little upset with this government. They don't take the cases to a closure at a fast rate. But if at least this conviction happens on Senthil Balaji, which is an open and shut case, I would be really, really happy.
We've been having this question asked of many of our guests, and the most reasonable answer came from one of the guests. They said that politics is not about right or wrong. Politics is all about winning the next election. And I think that kind of summarized it for me. I have stopped criticizing, but at least point out the data and then leave it for you, the viewer, to decide. I told the viewers, why don't you write to your MP about this and ask, maybe 5,000 letters or 5,000 emails come to an MP asking them to find out what happened to this corruption case. Maybe they'll be forced to move. Then some of them came back and asked me, what if the MP comes after us? So I said, okay, if that is your fear, then make an account in protonmail.com. That cannot be traced back to you. And send it through that Proton Mail. All you are showing is there is a video of P Gurus. There's an article in pgurus.com. Somebody else, somewhere else, you have a link. He said that we would like to know why no action has been taken, quoting a reference. After that, whatever happens, you will not be hurt in any way, viewers. The reason I'm saying all this is these things you can do sitting in the comfort of your living room. You don't need to move from there. I'm not asking you to go to the local, MP's house and go and give him none of that stuff. Today you are armed, really armed. You are not dangerous yet. That's what is going to move the needle, in my opinion. I don't think the politicians should decide when to, unleash the ED or when to do that. In my opinion, that's not right. As soon as something surfaces, they need to act within 24 hours because evidence will be actively destroyed. And India's court system still does not punish people enough for destruction of evidence. Two things, again, I would like the judiciary to look at. Penalize people for destruction of evidence. Second thing is there are two types of damages, compensatory and punitive. Compensatory is for the actual loss suffered. Punitive is for the guy who made the error, did the actual act from never ever doing it again. For that, what you do, you do 10 times, you levy the fine 10 times. That is a powerful deterrent. If you are fining him 1 million for compensatory, you fine 10 million rupees for punitive. That's when they'll not do it again. You see, I have myself heard about Senthil Balaji's family trying to loot houses, flats, and amazingly, Sriram, amazingly, most of these scum, I have to use that word, go after Brahmins. Brahmin properties, Brahmin houses. In fact, MK Stalin himself proudly proclaimed that Gopalapuram used to be inhabited by Brahmins. It no longer is. We drove them out of work to that extent. Viewers, I need you to understand, some of these people get away with murder by talking in Tamil. Okay, we are there to tell you, those of you who are outside of Tamil Nadu is the worst political gimmicks that they play, because soon this starts spreading to the rest of the country. You saw, for example, this loudmouth talking about union of states instead of the structure of India. And then who picked it up? The great genius Newton, Rahul Gandhi.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I can prove it again and again and again and again. The Brahmin hatred shown in Tamil Nadu is now being shown in Uttar Pradesh. And it is also shown up in in the United States. And if I go a little bit and look at it, all 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙤𝙤.
Right.
So anyway, I'm just saying, I'm going on a rant a little bit here, but just be aware that the worst kind of politics is being discussed in Tamil Nadu. The sooner these people are sent and this government is dismissed, the better. I don't know when that's going to happen. Let's move on to Karnataka. Sir, this is the other extreme. BJP is too slow in doing things. Karnataka Congress is too fast in doing the same things. They have already banned the anti-conversion bill. I don't know what kind of ban they have brought in place, but they have also said that the center has stopped giving food grains when the center in fact has stopped food grains for all the states, except a few in the northeast. So this kind of lying, outright lying, outrageous. Just talk to us a little bit about where things stand now. What is it that they have stopped in the anti-conversion bill?
See, the anti-conversion bill originally was introduced for forced conversion. Okay, not for a voluntary conversion. If someone really has a faith, believes in the faith, and wants to convert, then they don't have any problem. But if someone is coerced or paid to get converted or threatened to get converted, that's what the anti-conversion bill is about. So what Siddaramaiah government is doing is they are quashing this law for voluntary conversion, which is untrue. Already the law is not for voluntary conversion. It doesn't apply to voluntary conversion. It applies only to the forced conversion. So literally, they are quashing this anti-conversion bill itself so that enabling the church or mostly the church involves in conversion activities in India. Of course, the Muslims follow a different route of love jihad. But church actually does a family, lock, stock and barrel family conversions to the faith. And literally, they actually lived up to the promise they made to the minorities by quashing this anti-conversion bill. And this may be challenged in the court of law because court of law allowed this law to be passed. Court allowed this law to be passed. So we need to wait and see who is going to go hit the court and then say that, this repealing of this act itself is unlawful. So this is going to be a long drawn, legal battle that we will see. But people deserve this. I would say, especially RSS deserve this. Because RSS decided that BJP should lose Karnataka election, not by saying that they campaigned against, but they actually didn't campaign for BJP. That's why in a coastal Karnataka, BJP suffered significant losses too in coastal Karnataka, which is a stronghold of RSS. And actually RSS deserve this because RSS wants to have the ideological backing of the government, which means BJP is the only one that is, that can actually come closer to it. Even BJP cannot be full of RSS ideologies, but they come closer to what RSS wants to achieve. So this actually, people of Karnataka, especially the Hindus of Karnataka, deserve this government, because they chose to go to Congress, and then Congress is showing one by one. There's one more thing that you didn't point out, Sri Iyer. While BJP takes a long time to do something and then Congress is too fast, BJP took it took 9 years for them to correct the textbooks. And Congress took less than a month to reintroduce the subjects that was dropped in the Karnataka textbook, and reintroduce the subjects that were dropped, like, Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan as a freedom fighter, and all those, textbooks or textbook syllabus is coming back. So Congress is too fast in doing things. BJP is too slow. In this particular ration, case, this was actually decided long back, about 2016-17 itself, that central government will stop supplying at a subsidy, stop supplying this. It was state governments to procure whatever they want, and then, central government will support with the subsidy of that. Previously, central government used to buy and then supply these goods, and they are going to continue to do that for the basic minimum guarantee that they have made. Say, for example, until December 2023, central government has promised in the budget itself that they will supply 5 kgs of rice per person, 5 kg or wheat, and then pulses. That they are going to continue. But what used to happen is, several state government used to give over and above that particular quantity, for which the state government pays much lower charges, which they sell in ration shop. So in the ration shop, what the central government gives is a free ration, whereas people who are not in the below poverty line, and people who have there are multiple cards they have, Antyodaya card and other rice card, and then sugar card. Different states has a different ration card schemes. So the Antyodaya card will get free from the central government. There's no change in that. But for the rest of the other cards, the central government says that it is up to the state governments to supplement it. Previously, central government used to bear the charges, and then state government used to have only a very minuscule piece of that pie, and they used to take the credit that they were giving that ration shop things free of charge at a subsidized rate. Now central government is saying 100% the below poverty line we will take care. Rest of the citizens, if you want to give it at a subsidized rate, you take care of it. I don't think that is a wrong policy. What Karnataka government is trying to do, Siddaramaiah is trying to do, is, because Siddaramaiah promised 5 kg rice to everybody. 5 kg rice to everybody in the election manifesto, and after coming to power, they passed an order, 10 kg rice to every card holder. After coming to power, they actually plan to execute this particular commitment. In that, anyway, central government for Antyodaya card, they are giving 5 kgs. So additionally, for Antyodaya card, state government will give additional 5 kgs. But what Siddaramaiah thought was, they will use the 5 kgs for all the card holders given by the state central government, which is stopped. That is where he is finding it difficult.
Sriramji, I have again unasked for advice for the Modi government. Instead of having ration shops, what happens is, ration shop also tends to be corrupt ridden. Instead, what can be done is exactly like what is being done for gas cylinders today. See, those people who are senior citizens, they pay full price at the time of getting the gas cylinder, but their subsidy is credited back to them in their bank account instantly, almost instantly. This has been proven. Do the same thing for everybody. Why? Because two things happen. One, they are free to buy rice wherever they want. Right now, what happens is, when there is ration, through the ration, most of them don't buy it there because the quality is terrible. If you really want to do it right, do it this way, and then let them pay the market price. You give them the subsidy based on just like you're doing it for a cylinder. Do the same thing. What happens then is, some people may be able to afford 10 rupees a kilo rice. Some may be able to afford only 8 rupees a kilo rice. clearly there is some quality difference. Samba versus basmati and so on. You give them the choice. Get rid of this public distribution system. India does not need it. And slowly you get rid of the FCI also. Let private people come in. They will maintain the quality of the FCIs better. These things are not needed. Make life easy for everybody. I'm telling you, that is the way India can really progress forward. Just my 2 cents. While you are explaining it, Sriram, this just light went off in my mind. I thought,
Sure.
and an important thing is everybody needs to have a bank account, guys. Everyone has to have a bank account. You cannot, because that is the easiest way to get rid of the 500 rupee note. The next stumbling step is when to take the 500 rupee note out. For that, you need to prepare the base by making sure everybody has a bank account. How can you make sure everybody has a bank account? Do what I'm just telling you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, see, you are right. So it is going to be the public distribution system has gone through several reforms. I think, they need to reform further. No doubt about here. I don't know whether it can happen in the next 5 years or it can happen in next 2 years also. I think the PDS system has to undergo much more reforms because many items are looted even from their PDS system. So I think, it's the best is link it to the Gadar, link it to, like you said, subsidy is given to direct benefit transfers, etc. I think eventually that will, that is a way government has to go. Let's hope the government is, considering those options also.
Thank you, sir. And let's take some questions. We have a lot of questions today. We are a little bit, 20 minutes for questions. Let's see if we can run through as many as possible. Questions, please. Varani Chandar wants to know, understand the government vehicle scrap policy and need for it, but should they implement it in this manner? Delhi coming to your home and taking away the vehicle without prior notice. It is out of syllabus, sir.
Out of syllabus, but I don't know. I don't think so. It is, Bharani, it is a part of any government's choice. If it is 15 years old and if you are not gone for a renewal for additional 5 years, then they have the right to confiscate the vehicle. I think, one has to look into where they have taken without prior notice. Maybe it is not a regular event.
Thank you so much, Chandrasekhar Reddy. Thank you so much, Sai Narayan Swaminathan. Rahul Rathod wants to know, should Center under Article 257 give directions to West Bengal to stop violence and for Karnataka to stop revoking anti-conversion law, etc.? And many states are going woke in appeasing minorities. Your views, sir?
Rahul, I think Center will be very, very cautious to issue any direction under Article 257. If it only goes out of hand, then Center can step in. The West Bengal violence, in my opinion, is not, it can be controlled. West Bengal has seen far bigger violence than what happened the last week. And I don't think Karnataka, they can issue the similar guidance to Karnataka to stop them revoking the anti-conversion law, because it is within the preamble or purview of the state government. Only thing is civil societies or affected parties should go to court where Center could attach themselves and then argue in this case.
I saw something interesting. Yesterday, there was an entourage of the heir apparent, Abhishek Banerjee, and somebody called out from the crowd, "Chor," and the entourage stopped. This guy gets down and tries to chase after that fellow. Of course, he has disappeared. The thing is, same thing Mamta Didi also used to do. Mamta Didi used to be welcomed by Jai Sri Ram, and it used to get her, twisted into knots. I mean, what kind of a governance is happening in West Bengal? You can't even tolerate a little bit of criticism. Maybe they should have said Jai Ma Durga instead of Jai Sri Ram. Who knows? Anyway, so these are all the kind of flavor you get from state to state. Arvind TSY wants to know, temple entry controversy in Villupuram seems to be ending the hypocrisy of Dravidian ideology and exposing caste fault lines. Tough one for DMK. What position can BJP take?
Arvind, I think this case in Villupuram is a unique one. So in the Dravidian temple, which is worshipped by 1 year, one day is allowed only for that 1 year. Okay, this is actually a traditional, it has been going on for years, that one particular day worship is allowed only for that the caste which actually created this or constructed this temple or the family, one could say, that family extends to become the entire caste. I think, that day it should have, the controversy should not have happened. But what the government did is they went and locked that temple. This is a temple under HRNCE. They went and locked the temple and then called both the sides for compromise. I think, the tradition in any temple should not be disturbed. That's my view. I think BJP also should take that position. I don't know whether they have taken any public position yet on that, but I think BJP should take that particular position. It is not discriminating against the Dalits. It is not discriminating against the others. It is just a custom and tradition followed in the temple, in my opinion. I think that should be allowed to continue.
I used to wonder why BJP did not take a stand on the Brahmin genocide statement of Rajiv Gandhi that happened, I think, 2 years ago. And then a couple of other lumpens also echoed similar sentiments. And only recently, Annamalai stood up for the Brahmins. And I hope to meet him someday in person, because I have personal accounts of what my family on both my mother's side and my father's side went through right from 1920s. And I have some personal stories. I mean, it is anyway. I just want people to understand the kind of torture that Brahmins were put through. I'm talking about 1920s, guys, not now. Now we are only looking at the tail end. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that there are, a lot of wounds. Pawan Kishore wants to know, Namaste, sir. Why is only BJP being targeted as communal, whereas policies of Congress like repeal of anti-conversion law that appease minorities is being labeled secular?
Pawan, is a very good question. Secular definition is, according to non-BJP or the opposition, is different. Secular, according to them, is pro-Hindu. Non-secular is pro-Hindu. So that is how the Congress treats BJP. You are right that BJP is unnecessarily targeted for communal riots or communal politics. In my opinion, BJP probably had a little bit of that Ram Mandir issue and all had a little bit of linkage to between two religions. But Congress and the other ecosystem, like the Dravidian parties, play not just between appease the minorities, they also play the caste politics, enormous amount of caste politics. But for some reason, whatever the Congress says, the media used to carry in the past. Nowadays, people have actually woken up. People have realized that BJP, all these rhetorics about BJP being communal and then Congress being secular is no longer believed. Of course, in an electoral politics, they win in some areas. Like Karnataka, they won because the minorities grouped together, and then they actually went against BJP, or rather went in favor of Congress, lock, stock, and barrel. So they actually won, and that is why they actually are appeasing them. Just 30 seconds. In the 80s, if you go to Uttar Pradesh, Congress used to get all the OBCs and the minority votes. And when Mayawati came in, or Kanshiram came in, the Dalits and SCs and Muslim votes, Kanshiram came, took away that. And Mulayam Singh Yadav came, took away the minorities vote. That's when Congress did not realize that they were losing their vote block. But in Karnataka, in certain other places, they realized that minorities is their only vote bank at this point in time.
Next question, please. Subramanian Vishwanathan wants to know whether ED can take the lead and establish the trails of 30,000 crores, leak PTR audio and prosecute the culprits.
Subramanian Vishwanathan, yes, ED can definitely do it. But in my opinion, any of these agencies will not go for this large chunk of money like 30,000 crores, because proving that in court of law is going to be extremely difficult. Look at how much Lalu Prasad Yadav was convicted for, or Devil are convicted for. Even for that matter, Jayalalitha convicted for 65 crores of unaccounted money, and 5 crores for first conviction for Lalu Prasad Yadav came from 5 crores. because that's the easiest to prove in the court. 30,000 crore you take in a big money, and then every penny has to be accounted for in the court, and that's why they take a very small chunk. Even in the Senthil Balaji case, they actually caught about 1.5 crores. Can you imagine? Senthil Balaji would have looted only 1.5 crores. That is a myth. But that they'll take a very small amount which they can prove in the court of law, because the conviction is same. Even for 1 rupee or 1 lakh crore, the conviction is the same. And that is why they'll go for a smaller chunk of money. They may have trails of 30,000 crore, out of which they'll take a small amount and then prosecute. That is what they would do.
Magnet Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, is there a connection between central agencies and corrupt person's heart? In most cases, corrupt have chest pain no sooner than they are arrested. Seems the agency's officials have become cardiologists.
Magnet Ranga, excellent observation. Excellent observation. One thing I can definitely say, when ED steps in and then tells you they are going to be arrested, even for a common person who's a hale and healthy, your heart rate will pump up, no doubt about it. But getting chest pain and cardiac problem is one way to escape the jail sentence or going to ED custody immediately. But imagine, these are 8-10 years case. If the ED is arresting you for that, they have a proof. They need only confirmation and confession. That's why they need. So they'll allow you to be in the hospital for even 3 months. Even yesterday, when High Court gave an order for transferring Senthil Balaji from Omandura Hospital to Kaveri Hospital, they said they observed one thing, that as long as you stay, that time it was only judicial custody. They said the number of days you stay in the hospital do not count as a judicial custody, which means you are given a judicial custody for 14 days. It doesn't end by the calendar date. As long as you are in the hospital, 3 months down the line, you step out of the hospital, that's when the judicial custody starts. So 14 days from that day. So courts have become little more innovative in their observations and sentences for these people.
If I have to say this in regional languages, 𝙒𝙬𝙬𝘀, ashte, ambude, aipoindi, ante. So this is what it is. Because once they have said, it doesn't matter whether it is 1 rupee corruption or 100,000 crore corruption. Corruption is corruption. Once you are caught with your hand in the cookie jar, you're done. P. Bharatam wants to... Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I read the question. What happens in case bypass is postponed by a month? Bharatam, bypass can be postponed even by 3 months. The ED will wait. They waited for 8 years. They'll wait. They don't mind waiting for 3 more months. Only thing is, they are postponing the trouble for 3 more months. That's all they are doing. I don't think ED will be so naive to leave it at that and then say that, he allow him to tamper with evidences. They would have enough evidences to convict him or take him, at least file a charge sheet. And then conviction or no conviction. In this case, it's an open and shut case for conviction. But ED will actually give him a long rope. In this case, they'll give a long rope, in my opinion.
P. Bharatam, will Tamil brothers see this as Amit Shah's aggression, not aggression?
Bharatam, no, I don't think so. A lot of people link Senthil Balaji's arrest, and even DMK is doing a disservice to them by doing that. The power cut happened when Amit Shah landed, and the next day ED lands. I don't think ED can land just with a one. Okay, of course, they will be prepared. All this preparation goes for months together to even before they raid. Second, DMK does a disservice to themselves by saying Senthil Balaji is more powerful in the Kongu region where BJP and ADMK are used to have their base. Actually, they are doing a disservice to DMK themselves because they are accepting that Karnanidhi, when he was an unquestionable leader, couldn't penetrate Kongu region. Stalin, who is supposed to be one of the tall leaders of DMK, unable to penetrate Kongu region. DMK as a party machinery is not able to penetrate Kongu region, but for Senthil Balaji. So is Senthil Balaji become a larger than life? They're actually doing a disservice to themselves. In fact, I said this in one of the debates, and then the person representing the DMK came out of the debate and then said, we will no longer use this argument again because you shattered this argument. Actually, they are doing a disservice, right?
I have to tell you one interesting story. See, when they were trying to capture Coimbatore, that is before the civic elections, now DMK thinks they have Coimbatore also, or the Congo region. Stalin came on a visit. He was going to some place near Coimbatore, let us just say.
Yeah.
What happened was the road was full of potholes. Full of potholes. You know what they did, Sriram? It was not a point A to point B and back to airport. It's not airport, point A, back. He was going from airport to A, B, C, D, and then back to the airport. You know what they did? They paved the road cleanly only for that side of the road.
Yeah.
In other words, the other side is still full of potholes.
Yeah.
This is how bad this corruption has crept into them, because they would have charged full money for laying the road.
Yeah, that's right.
ASP Shastri wants to know, dear Sri Iyer, while your suggestion in regard to PDS is welcome, there is no political will for such things. Shastri Garu, I think not true. I think Modi has taken bold decisions. The thing about it is, sometimes what happens is you are being combated with thousands of issues every day. You don't have time to get up and look around and see what can be done better for the people. In my opinion, doing this will be huge. And it is not impossible. You have laid the groundwork. You've seen the success of Jan Dhan Yojana. You've seen the senior citizens, appreciate the fact that this thing comes right, subsidy comes right back to, they get an SMS message that it has come back. So it's so beautifully done. I would encourage the government to look into it in more depth. I'm sure somebody has already thought about it, but just in case. Surya, thank you, Surya. PDS is a safety valve to release the rice wheat procured from farmers. What should government do with grains it procures from farmers?
See, PDS is one way to government still could procure by paying the minimum support price, and allow people to, instead of wasting these grains. See, previously Food Corporation used to waste most of the grains than it goes to the public, and in fact, like Sri Iyer mentioned, the quality goes down, and then only the rotten grains used to go to the public through the PDS. During the COVID, everything was cleaned up. Still, Food Corporation could buy it and distribute it in the free market, because the MSP target, minimum support price to the farmers had to be kept up. Like Sri Iyer mentioned, this transformation the ground is laid. See, linking of Aadhaar to ration card, one nation, one card initiative. So all these things are happening in the last 8-9 years. So it is just a question of time to push to the next level for allowing people to buy in the open market, and then subsidizing, using your ration card number or whatever is the identity. It is just the next realistic progression. So Food Corporation still could buy it and then issue that in the free market.
So I'll give you one other loophole it will close. By the way, I'm saying the loophole that it will close is that now people get the free rations and then they sell it in the market. Yeah. Now, instead, what you do is, the next step for this would be that those people who are eligible for free rations, the government can send a QR code. So that QR code, you would do it only when you are swiping it at the food counter. Okay, so if you still, what happens is at the incidence that it will be misused goes much lower. Why would you go to the superstore, buy the rice, and then avail the freeness? And then you say, hey, I have got good quality rice. Do I still want to sell it? So this is an important thing, guys. Please think about it. There is so much pilferage that happens at every level. Like, for example, why do people not like PDS? See, the grains are coming into FCI. From FCI, it comes to the PDS place, and then from there, it's given to the people. What happens? First of all, faulty weight measures. Second of all, they add stones and take out rice. This has been happening. It's not like, I'm saying something new. This is how people loot at every step of the way. So let the government get out of this quality control. Let private sectors do it. Because the private, if you go to a superstore, right, that guy doesn't know who's going to buy the thing. So he's going to maintain his quality because he needs
Right.
to move his inventory. Think a little bit more, out of the box, and I'm sure everybody will benefit. That's my 2 cents.
Sure.
Maddie, thank you so much. I think Congress always had appeasement for minorities for 60 years, passed the law swiftly, and on the other hand, BJP is trying to clear the mess, which is not easy to fix. Your thoughts?
Very true, Maddie. See, one is if the Congress does something, the opposition or ecosystem pouncing on them is limited. Whereas when BJP does even a good thing, for example, Agnipath and Agniveer scheme, one of the best schemes of recruiting people to the defense, and at the same time train them and then keep them outside. It reduces the cost of personnel, the salary and other personal cost of the army. And whenever they want, they can actually tap into this particular pool of talented people or trained people. It's a wonderful scheme. Everybody jumped onto it. Riots happened. Of course, BJP did a mistake. They should have prepared the mindset for the people, but they just announced it overnight. That's their fault. But otherwise, it's an excellent system. So that is where whatever BJP is doing, even if it is extremely good for the nation, it is first criticized. You find loopholes, kill that system, kill that initiative, try to kill that. Whereas if Congress does the worst ever things for the country, still the ecosystem allows it to go. I think that has not changed drastically over the 10 years. It is changing, but at least national media and all are becoming a little more conscious. They have become a lot more conscious. And in my opinion, this appeasement will have to go out. In Uttar Pradesh or in Bihar, this appeasement of minority appeasement never takes off very actively. I think, rest of the places it has to happen.
Is it okay if we extend by a few minutes, Sriram, or you have to go?
Sure. No, I'm okay.
Yeah. Viewers, we are trying to accommodate as many questions of yours as possible. So please stay with us. If there is a question out of syllabus, we might skip it from here until we end this program. Remember that, Sriram is back again. Tomorrow morning, we are going to do something similar in Tamil. So if, he needs to get his beauty sleep. And me too. The next question, please. Krishna Kishore wants to know, regional parties like DMK, BRS can fund any amount. Example, Punjab, Karnataka. Would S Balaji, Senthil Balaji arrest stop issues like this?
Krishna, I don't think so. Look at, Manish Sisodia's arrest happened because of that excise scam. Then look at Partha Chatterjee's arrest happened. He can never ever come out of prison because there was a loads of cash recovered from his chest. And Manish Sisodia, 3 months over, not able to get a bail. And so what? People don't change. Ideally, Senthil Balaji should have stopped or limited his loot by looking at these actions on these people, right? But they don't, because they all think, all these corrupt politicians think have one fundamental idea that when the action comes near them, either they can negotiate a deal or they can buy the deal by bribing the officers. I think negotiation may still happen. It's not the negotiation like what you have in the US, but sometimes there's a political negotiation happens. And unfortunate, I need to accept that, it is not liked by nationalists, but it does happen. You can't rule that out. So that is where all these corrupt people, think that one of that would happen, and that's why they just go all out. I don't think it's going to stop. It's never going to stop the issue like this. More and more are going to keep coming, and until the public actually wakes up and then make them to stop. So the moment you defeat them in an election for this, continuously defeat these corrupt practice politician, then they will change. Until the people do that, I don't think this looting is going to stop.
Saman here. Hi, Nagaraj. Kaveri Hospital Management is very close to DMK ecosystem. In fact, it's owned by DMK ecosystem. Senthil Balaji is currently undergoing treatment in the same hospital. How can court allow this?
See, and Samanier Nagaraj, Kaveri Hospital is owned by K.
Nehru, right?
Yeah. Another minister. So why are you so afraid of naming that person? You see, one thing is it is a preference of the petitioner. Senthil Balaji's wife petitioned stating that their family doctor is from Kaveri Hospital. May or may not be true, but still it is the moment the court has agreed to shift the person to a private hospital from a public hospital, whether it's Kaveri or Apollo doesn't make a difference. Only good thing happened today is he was, instead of being in a judicial custody, he was given to ED custody, which means ED actually outsmarted all these Kaveri hospital movement, because now they have a control of the place. They have a control of the ward in which Senthil Balaji is kept. They will be able to monitor who goes in, who goes out. They may even put up a CCTV camera inside, out, everywhere, and then record. So to some extent, he will be monitored thoroughly. He will be monitored thoroughly because of this court decision.
See, one way to try and induce other side to make mistakes is to make them feel that they are winning and the other person is losing. So there's a lot of chess games being played here. So wait and watch.
Yeah.
Next, Santosh Dhotri, thank you so much. Jay Gopal Venkatraman wants to know, my granduncle Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, National Research Professor in Library Science, was put into tremendous pressures in 1950s when he was the librarian of Madras University by the Dravidian movement. Well, yeah, the stories are unending. And the thing is, I don't like to keep saying about all the different things that happened, because, you can always say that this happened to me, but rather you have your life left to look forward to. See what you can do. Anyway, that's just my philosophy to life. Mr. Saptarishi, thank you so much. Next one. Kunduru Kameswar Rao wants to know, all said and done, don't you think it is impossible for opposition to unite and defeat Modi?
Yes, it is impossible for the opposition to unite and defeat Modi. It is true, Kameswar Rao, because 23rd, all the opposition leaders are meeting in Patna, where Stalin also is going to be there. All of them can come on certain issues on a common platform. But when it comes to electoral politics, even if they do, already they are united. In my opinion, they are united. DMK is against BJP and Modi in Tamil Nadu, Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal, and Nitish Kumar and Tejasvi Yadav in Bihar, Akhilesh Yadav in Uttar Pradesh. You name every party, regional party, it is against BJP in their own turf. Except probably Biju Janata Dal also is fighting against BJP, but he doesn't openly join with this opposition gang. And YSRCP, BRS, everybody, they are fighting against BJP in their own turf. So what is different? What is different if the oppositions comes together? The post-poll alliance is what is going to be will find a numbers. Otherwise, they are already fighting. But remember, out of 544 seats, nearly 250 head-on between BJP and Congress. That's what matters. That's what matters a lot, because Congress will win 30 to 40 in that. They need to rely on these alliance partners to donate another 20, 40 to be as a principal opposition party. That is why Congress doesn't like these opposition parties, because they are saying, you contest in your stronghold, we will contest in our stronghold. Don't come and poke in our state. Congress cannot do that. So they will actually spoil the opposition unity on their own, and Modi or BJP don't even have to take any action on that.
Thank you, Mallika Gollapudi. Next one. That brings us to a close of today's session, a fascinating one. Sriram, thank you so much for taking time out at such a late hour to talk to us and share your thoughts. Viewers will be back. Tamil channel will have a conversation between him and I tomorrow morning. We'll, of course, cover other topics also. Do join us for that. And again, don't forget, As soon as our program starts airing, click on the like button. And if you have not subscribed, subscribe to our channel. Sriram, thank you so much. Namaskar.
Namaskar.